Hey guys and gals, welcome to K6 Outdoors. My name's Kyle. As you guys have noticed in some of my previous videos, maybe you haven't, and if you haven't, I would encourage you guys to go back and look at some of those videos. I try not to be repetitive and ask for thumbs ups and thumbs downs in the videos and subscribership, but I want to give a small plug here that your subscribership, which costs you nothing, and your thumbs ups and thumbs downs with the comments down below really helps me out and and gets these videos in the algorithms. Don't want to be pushy. If you guys like the content, I would encourage you to subscribe and follow along. But if you've noticed in those previous videos, I've got a ton of bushes and shrubs around the house, and a lot of them are getting, way tall. This one up front here we're going to talk about here in a minute is probably the worst one, and it needs to be transplanted to somewhere else. It's getting too big. That's next spring's project when it's dormant. But for now, we need to trim it up. And I looked at a few different things. I looked at some Stihl pole saws, some pole, multi-tool attachments, but just the prices are outrageous. And I already have, a trimmer, and I don't need to. Anyways, long story short, I was trying to figure out a good way to buy something that would be, cost-effective, versatile, and do a good job around the property. So here, lies the box for the DCPH820B DEWALT Pole Hedge Trimmer. This is the tool-only kit that I picked up at the time at our local Tyson's, which is kind of like a farm and home type of store, They had it for $165 with a free 5 amp hour battery. So I'm like, hey, why not? I've got a bunch of DEWALT batteries already. I was looking at the Stihl battery powered one, but you're talking $400 just for the pole trimmer and the battery, which again, I don't want one battery, limits you. And yeah, Stihl makes good products. I got their chainsaw, leaf blower, I got the yard boss, I got the trimmer. So the yard products, there's no doubt it's good stuff. This is the 20 volt MAX lineup from DEWALT. Comes with the normal 3-year warranty, 1 year, service, and the 90-day return policy if you don't like it. There's been a lot of good reviews on this. There's some also negative reviews, so I kind of wanted to get it and buy it myself, and for the cost, thought it was worth it. We're gonna go ahead and unbox this and come back in a minute. So when you get it out of the box, it looks like this. I'm not gonna bore you with the unboxing video. It's pretty straightforward. There's 2 arrows. You line them up and you push them together and you tighten it. That's all it takes to assemble this bad boy. What I will tell you already, I can tell you out the gate, it is pretty front heavy. The center of gravity is more like right here-ish. So it is kind of a little, front heavy. It's gonna be a little offset with the battery in the back. But this is a 22-inch hardened steel cutting edge. It moves up to 2800 SPM, and it looks really sharp. It is well oiled at this point in time. Again, it comes with this nice guard as well. It does have a 1-inch gap that allows you to get up in there and cut 1-inch material. They call this a hedge trimmer, but it can be used for like a scythe to cut grass. You can cut branches off trees. Basically, if it's organic matter and it's not extremely hard, these hardened blades are going to cut through it. Cover that up for the meantime. Up top here's where you have your DEWALT motor. And then here you have your 180-degree articulating end. You pull the little handle down on the side here, or the little, it goes both ways. And locks securely in place when you let go of it, and the same way the other way. Some of the feedback I saw is that, locked in certain positions, there is a little wiggle room. So if you lock straight out, you'll see that there, you can kind of see there how much wiggle room there is. Obviously, with leverage and math and angles, the farther you get out from that pivot point, the worse that is. But we'll have to test it out. But I'm guessing by how I'm feeling it, it's probably not going to affect the ton of how I'm actually trimming my bushes. Whether it's like this, turning it sideways. We're going to be. I don't see it being an issue. And again, the value for the dollar and the fact that I've got mini batteries that's going to work with this, it's going to be kind of hard to offset the difference from the minor inconvenience. I think it's just due to the nature of how the mechanism works here with the detents and the little, it locks into place there. I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker for me. So again, this one is actually interchangeable with the saw attachment if you choose to go that route. Back here is the hook for the included shoulder harness. Goes around your shoulders and hooks onto this. I don't see myself using that at this point in time, so we're just going to set that to the side. And then back here you have your traditional DEWALT grip with your safety, and the trigger to make her go, and then again the receiver here for the battery. This does weigh 7.9 pounds, and like I mentioned to you, the center of gravity is pretty far forward. So it is pretty front heavy, but again, I don't know that that is something that I'm going to be overly concerned about at this point in time. I think it's handling some of the other competitors, it's very, you know, I guess, similar. I don't know. Enough with all the technical nonsense, but for those of you that cared, there's the information. Let's go up front and start cutting. I'm going to throw the trimmings here in the front tractor bucket and go from there. Let's get after it. Testing out here and see what happens. I'm going to lock her out in the straight position. You can kind of already see this is a little overgrown. And, well, you know, that was not the intentions by having this here. So we're going to go ahead and has good response on the throttle. Chop. Let's see what happens. I really don't feel like the weight's that bad. It's no, but it works really well. So, right? Just making nice light work. This extra floppiness, if you guys can see that, I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Sure doesn't seem to be at this point in time. For literally a 5-minute job, it really looks pretty good. I mean, just ignore the extra leaves. Those will get cleaned up another day. But we took the top off that bad boy over there too, and this is going to get transplanted somewhere not so close to, you know, Old Glory here. We're going to upgrade this flagpole next year too with a new one. So stay tuned to check that part out. Let's go in the back here. I got some weeds. I want to try out the 90-degree angle on, see how it works. But you know, I can't tell you how long this is going to last. This is my very first initial impressions on it and uses, but I mentioned it a couple times, it seems to work pretty well so far. So, you know, what I can tell you here in this first video, you know, we'll have to watch over time how well it continues to work, if it stays sharp and if I have any issues. But so far, so good. 2 thumbs up so far. I can't show you my other thumb. I'm holding the camera. So let's go dump this bucket full of stuff and I'll show you some more stuff. Let's quick clean up some of these smaller branches. You know, they're smaller than an inch. It gets through a branch. Cuts it off. Takes a couple of seconds there, but once you get it in the jaws, it cuts it right off. Not too shabby. Tree trimmer. Obviously, small branches. Smaller than an inch, cuts them right off. Out of my way. So back here by the garden, I purposefully let this grass grow up. Oh, I definitely didn't. Anyways, I want to show you here, again, how this rotates. You know, just to reiterate, because this is one of the biggest complaints I've seen from anybody, is that this wiggles. You can see it. If you can't see it, you're blind. So if you choose to buy this, do not be surprised by that. Because it seems like everyone's surprised when you look at the reviews, and, you know, would this make it a perfect tool if that was right? Yeah, it would be nice if they would make it tighter, but so far for me, it hasn't been an issue. I've said this like 85 times. So anyways, we're going to try out a different mode here. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees towards us. And we're going to use it like a scythe. If you're out there by your, by your pond or whatever, you want to trim down the weeds, you don't want to use a trimmer, Just gives you an idea. You know, this is one way I've seen people using this stuff. You know, you want to cut down tall stuff. So again, maybe you're over by the pond and you've got a 40-degree bank and you want to do some trimming on it. You know, set her at that angle and you could put it right down that bank and just trim right along it. So, you know, trim along the bank here by the pond. Nope. But you can see it's a much faster way than probably using a trimmer, you know. Really gross cutting anyways. It's not going to be a one size fits all, but you know, it works. We've been using this thing for about, I don't know, 15 minutes total. Motor's got some temperature in it, but it's nowhere near hot. You know, it is a cool night out. When we're talking tonight, lows is, you know, I think tonight's low is like 49 degrees, which is nice. It's a good taste of fall for us here. You know, otherwise, this thing seems to be a keeper. I'm liking it so far. I don't see a reason why. I'm going to take it back. Adding that battery to the back, especially the 5 amp hour, brings the center of gravity back a little bit. You know, we're closer up to here. You know, we're closer, you know, we're about probably 6 inches farther back by adding that battery. So the center is closer to the center of the rod, where their center of gravity is at. So yeah, there's quite a bit of weight out here. You can see the difference. It's probably about 12 inches of more, 12 to 18 inches more on this side of, you know, handle. But I don't really feel like, you know, it's unhandleable. I mean, seems fine by my standards, but you know, everybody's not the same and everyone's strength isn't the same. So when you're done, make sure you use a little bit of resin solvent. I'll put a link below down to the stuff that I use to clean this up. You just want to keep the teeth from, you know, ouch, sharp. Be careful, sharp. You just want to wipe this down so you're not getting any of that gunk stuck between the blades. Just going to make it last longer, work better for you. Just be careful doing this. So you get the idea, it is sharp. I'll tell you, be careful, it is sharp. Then use a good light film lubricant. I like to use this on most of my stuff, this spray gel WD-40. Just put a nice light coat on it, coat on the exposed blades here. Probably lighter than that. And then once you turn it upside down, you know, and cycle it for a couple minutes to disperse all the lubrication back on the exposed teeth. Dispersing lubricant. Dispersing lubricant. Be careful. Don't get any fingers caught in that blade. You're going to really wish you didn't. I mean, it's probably going to clean off. Guaranteed. And we'll go ahead and slide the included cover back over this to, you know, protect your phalanges, your body parts, and anything else that might be near the sharp edges. I'm going to end the video there. Initial impressions are, I would definitely buy it again. I don't see myself returning it because you know you have the 90-day return period there. But so far so good. I'm happy with it. You know, for the money, it's going to help me out quite a bit. Be faster with what I'm doing. I've got a bunch of DEWALT batteries anyways, which in most things, that's the name of the game, is having enough batteries to support what you're doing. And you know, it's not $400. It was $169 versus that, you know, similar situation from Stihl, which again, I love Stihl products. I mentioned that, but I've got 3 bushes and some rose bushes to trim, you know, once, twice a year. Just can't get myself to do that. I know the batteries are supposed to last 10 years with that, but I think those batteries are like 180 bucks a piece too. So I don't see any indications why it would break or have any issues, but so far so good. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today. I'll put a link below to Amazon, to an affiliate link where you can pick this up at. Remember, if you guys buy this stuff, I get a little commission off those sales, but it's nothing of expense to you. It helps support me a little bit here on the channel while I make some of these videos, because it does take quite a bit of time to do this, believe it or not. Give me some comments what you guys do think, if you have it yourself or if you have any other issues, you know, related to this. But again, my initial impressions are it seems to be built pretty well. The only complaint I have is like everybody else is with this little wiggle, but it did not seem to affect the, well, how well the job is done. Sure seems like I'm able to do the job well, or well enough by my standards. It doesn't affect the performance for me, but overall, I give it a solid B plus, A minus. Well, again, the only knockoff is gonna be for that piece there, and the rest of it's gonna tell its own story. So, hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give me a thumbs down, like I mentioned before. But give me some feedback on what I can do to make this all better, and give me some comments down below. What's your guys' thoughts on it? Do you think it's a good piece of equipment? Do you have one yourself? Have you had any issues? Or is there something I should watch out for and share with you all, or the other people watching this video, to help inform them? Because again, the purpose of this channel is to learn some of this stuff the hard way, so you guys don't have to, and let your money and your spending habits get you a little further in life, because Lord knows inflation and everything else in this world is getting more and more expensive. Thanks again for stopping in. My name is Kyle. I do greatly appreciate y'all. Without you, this channel doesn't exist, and I really do enjoy doing this as a fun hobby. So thanks again. Take care of each other. We'll catch you in the next video. We'll see ya.